Hello everyone, this is Tanya from Professor Tanya Speaks, and today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the you attitude. But this time we're going to go a little bit deeper. Now you'll remember that in this video I introduced you to the you attitude. But my goal in today's video is to give you some practical examples and to give you some concrete tips. And I'm going to show you the different scenarios or the different situations that will call for the use of the you attitude. But before we do, I'm going to do the usual. I'm going to ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know whenever I release a new video. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk a little bit more about the you attitude. Now there are at least 4 ways that you can create the you attitude. You can do this by talking about the reader, not yourself. You do this when you avoid talking about feelings, except to congratulate or offer sympathy. You can also use you more often than you use I, even when it's a positive situation. And you can use we when it includes the reader. And the 4th way that you can create the you attitude is when you avoid the blaming you in negative situations. Now, for these 4 approaches, let me give you an example for each. So the first example is when you talk about the reader and not about yourself. And look at these. I have negotiated an agreement with Apex Rent-A-Car that gives you a discount on rental cars. Sounds like the you attitude, right? Because of the word you. However, it isn't. This is the you attitude. As a Sun Life employee, you now get a 20% discount when you rent a car from Apex. So compare the two. Both have the word you, but one is looking out for the reader more than him or herself, the writer. Here's another example. We are shipping your order of September 21st this afternoon. Or the 24 print cartridges you ordered will be shipped this afternoon and should reach you by September 28th. Similar but different. Because in the first one, rather than focusing on what you are going to do for them, you talk about how they will benefit. Now, when you say I have negotiated, you're talking about what you have done. But when you say you can now get, you're talking about how they can benefit. Similarly for this one, we are shipping your order. That's talking about what you have done, which is not of as great importance. Because if you are the customer, you don't care when it was shipped. What you want to know is when you will get it. And that's why the second one is better, because it's telling you, 1, when it will arrive, and it's saying the 24 print cartridges you ordered. So we're saying you're even smart too, because you ordered them. So that's one example. Now, the second way you can show the you attitude is when you avoid talking about feelings except to congratulate or offer sympathy. So, we are happy to extend a line of credit of $5,000. Nobody cares about your emotions, especially in business communication, and the reader usually couldn't care less if you are happy or not. But if you said something like this, you can now charge up to $5,000 on your Bank of Montreal card. Then that would show the you attitude more, because you're focusing not on how you feel, but you're giving them information that they will want to know about what they can do. Or here's another example. You'll be happy to hear that your scholarship has been renewed. Once again, you don't need to focus on emotions. But if you were to say something like, congratulations, your scholarship has been renewed. And that is more of the you attitude. And it would be good if you were to avoid even saying something like this: we've renewed your scholarship. Because even though that is the active voice, it's about you. And the only time that we is good for the you attitude is when the we involves the reader. So avoid putting yourself in and avoid the emotions. The third way that you can use the you attitude is when you use you more than I, even when it's in a positive situation. So we provide dental coverage to all employees. It's okay, but it's not the you attitude. But if you were to say, you receive dental coverage as a full-time Cleartone employee, that way, once again, you're talking about the person. You will receive it. And now the fourth way that you can use the you attitude is when you avoid using the word you whenever there's a negative situation. So rather than saying something like, you failed to sign your check, you could say, your check arrived without a signature. But that is considered impersonal. It's still the you attitude, but it's more impersonal. Why? Because you've omitted talking about the person. But if you were to say the check was not signed, then that is the use of the passive voice. And that's also the you attitude, which is good. So the impersonal can work also because it's still the you attitude. But I'm just showing you the difference. And for those who sometimes are a little bit unclear about the passive versus the active, remember the active voice is when you name the actor. So you did not sign your check. As against, the check was not signed. That's passive because there's no actor. And the emphasis is on the action. See, the action, the check was not signed. Whereas you didn't sign. Apart from blaming, it is the active voice. But this is one of the times when we say, don't use the active voice whenever it's negative. And here's another example of a negative situation. Whenever you're going to restrict someone's movement or freedom, it's better to talk about the group to which the person belongs rather than single out the person. So rather than saying something like, you must get approval from the communications department before you speak with any media agency, it would be better if you were to say something like, conversations with the media require approval from the communications department. So you're talking about the entire group rather than the person. Once again, it's just a strategy for using the you attitude. And a lot of times you just have to look at what you write and ask yourself, would this make the reader feel that he is important, that he counts? And if you can't answer yes, then you may have to tweak your sentence a little bit. And that's business communication. To wrap this up, let me just remind you that the you attitude is a style of writing that looks at things from the reader's point of view. It respects the reader's intelligence. So you have to always think in terms of what the reader knows and don't tell them what they already know. You also want to protect the reader's ego. And if it's something that's going to hurt their ego, you avoid saying it. And it also means that you emphasize what the reader wants to know. And I gave you this example earlier. We're shipping your order. That doesn't tell the reader what he wants to know. What he wants to know is when he will get the order. So I hope this helped. Now, I got all of this information from Business Communication, Building Critical Skills. And this is one of the many business communication textbooks that I highly recommend. Guffey and Locker are known in the field and they've been doing this forever. Whatever they say, assume it's gospel. So I hope this helped you by showing you 4 ways that you can create and use the you attitude. And what I'm going to suggest now is, once you've written any kind of correspondence, before you send it out, look back at this tape, or hopefully as you were listening, you were making notes. And then what you're going to do is look at your different sentences and see if there's anywhere that you need to change from the me attitude to the you attitude. Sometimes it's just a simple tweak, but it first starts with being aware. And once you know what you're looking for, it's easier to actually use the you attitude. So look through your correspondence, look through your memo, look through your email, look through your letters, and see how you can make those changes so that your reader will feel important. So, thanks again for watching. And as usual, before I go, I'm going to remind you to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Until I see you in the next video, bye for now.